Cardano holders, welcome back. I have a good one for you today. We're going to be looking at Cardano maybe having the biggest breakout story of October. We've always kind of highlighted October as being Uptober within the crypto world. So let's talk about it. Let's run some ADA and we'll look at the charts as it stands today. Get you guys out of here in a couple minutes. I do want to take time to thank all of my returning subscribers. If you are not subscribed yet to the channel, you do hold Cardano. Make sure you do. We talk Cardano each and every single day. Hit that like button as well and be sure to follow me on X. Okay. But as we look at the crypto bubbles in the top 100, this is where we're seeing a red day again as Bitcoin has fallen to 121, Ethereum now under 4,500. And the story of the day actually is kind of BNB moving up 2 spots as they were absolutely exploding. Now currently up 5.4% at the time that I'm recording. But Cardano's still holding on to that 10 spot in market cap, trading at 82 cents. Okay. So a lot of things are going on right now. We'll look at the trading view very quickly, and you can see kind of how we've had the volume basically stable off. And I think that right now we're just below that trend line where if we look at the daily chart and what I'm looking at, this is kind of where Cardano doesn't live below this trend line for quite too long. Not financial advice, just my take on the charts and what I'm looking at myself personally. Make sure you do your own research and due diligence, okay? But if we want to see a breakout, this is kind of where if we go below, we've pretty much rebounded every single time that we did go below this trend line. It's happened probably 6 or 7 times over the last, I should say, few months in 2025. And right now we're faced with it because we are right below that trend line currently as I'm recording. Okay. But this is kind of the big news coming out from Cardano and why it may be the biggest story of October. Okay. So there's a lot of people that still believe it's a ghost chain. It's a zero coin. There's nothing to it. It's just all hype and no show. Okay. But this is something where they have had over $1.5 billion in daily volume, still has a very good chance to surprise a lot of crypto traders. Okay. So as we look at it being very profitable, and that's kind of what I wanted to highlight as well, over the last year, up over 131%. And it's very hard to find people that are fudding Cardano because we talked about it every single day, right? Cardano at 25 cents, at 30 cents, 35 cents. It's just way, way too cheap. Okay. And now we're trading, very close to $1. We're not there yet. And there's a lot of indication why we will not get back to there shortly. But this is a very fun time to be a Cardano holder or enthusiast because I think that if we look at the 90 cents, according to all charts, a break above this would take us back above $1. Obviously, if we do surpass $1 with some momentum, there would be some more bullish days ahead. But this breakout is very viable to talk about a world where we could see another $6.83 billion added to the total figure. That would represent a surge of over 22% in market cap. Okay. So that's basically just one thought and why Cardano would become the biggest story in the crypto market. Personally, I think that if Cardano experiences 22%, respective assets along in the same class would also see big moves. So I don't foresee like Cardano moving up to seventh in market cap, sixth in market cap. I think it would be a broader stroke move in all of crypto where the entire market just pumps. And I think that October would be very bullish for all of the cryptos, not just Cardano. But I think that right now, what Cardano's doing here, and I do agree with this statement, the identity crisis. Okay, we've seen a changing of the guard right now from Charles Hoskinson. Never big on advertising. Now he wants to get Cardano advertised. Okay, not big on adding in multiple chains. Now we have cross-chain interoperability being the focus. Okay, Charles Hoskinson was always at the helm, and now we're trying to be the biggest and the best crypto in the top 10 in terms of governance and being truly decentralized. So we've seen all of these identities and pedestals that Cardano was built upon basically being revamped and retooled into what we're doing right here, right now. Okay. So if you remember way back when it just first originated, Cardano was simply just the Ethereum killer. Okay. And I hated that term. I don't think that there's any world where Cardano does well and Ethereum doesn't. That's just my take. It's not me fudding Cardano. I'm a Cardano maxi by all accounts. But there are a lot of narratives within Cardano, okay, that you know Charles Hoskinson and what he set out to do originally, and all of the initiatives that he has taken, not failed, but just never got off the ground. And I think that's true. I think that we've seen a lot of cryptos go up almost 300% and above. Okay, XRP being one, right? But Cardano, you could say even Solana way back when Cardano was just basically sideways. Okay. And as we look at it, something had to give. I think that that's kind of where we were at this identity crisis where Hoskinson kind of changed his tune. He started putting more initiative and time into other aspects of ADA. I think that's kind of where you look into the organic kind of intrinsic properties of Cardano shifting so much that we couple that with the potential for October. Who knows? Maybe a price breakout is on the way, and maybe we could find ourselves with a new identity that would return Cardano maybe not to the third spot as it was one day, but I wouldn't mind seeing Cardano back in the top five. I think that's probably going to make a lot of people watching this video chuckle, but that's just kind of how I view it. All right, so I think that October is the biggest story right now going in crypto. I think that we're talking about huge inflows if we do not have any kind of macro issues such as the government shutdown looming, if the regulators or Congress or some kind of huge initiative to derail crypto suddenly. If none of that takes place and inflation kind of stays on its course of lowering the interest rates, and who knows, maybe we're set up for a huge Q4 and Q1 of 2026 that could take Cardano back well above a dollar once again. Maybe not all time highs, but I would take Cardano, pushing $2 here to close out the year. I would be happy with that, and I think I wanted to share with you guys my stance because we are at that identity crisis within Cardano currently. Okay, so that's where we're at. Huge moves are being made. The one thing that Hoskinson and his team have done that I'm very bullish on, just to conclude, I'm really big on that Bitcoin DeFi bridge. Okay, I think that's something where you look at that, maybe changing of the tune as well. That was never a stance. He was pretty much anti-Bitcoin. It's always been a Bitcoin maxi, Cardano maxi war. I think that's kind of where we look into it within the a role of crypto. A lot of other top 10 cryptos are getting into DeFi more and more. And that's where Cardano needs to get into, I would say, a more of an emerging market share is in their DeFi network. Okay. So I'll leave you guys with those thoughts. Appreciate you all tuning in. If you haven't done so by now, hit that like button. Please subscribe down below and join us. Thank you again. And we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.